guys, we're out here doing some maintenance on the Malibu wagon. Let my camera die, so I had to charge it up. Got it charged up. Pretty much doing the main maintenance on this thing. I've got to change the plugs, change the oil, check the fluid in the rear end, check the fluid in the transmission, grease all the front end up, grease the anti-roll bar up. I've already done that. I swapped the belt out because the belt was squealing on here, and the belt that I run on this, because I done a Corvette style alternator on this, you know, F-body style, Corvette style, same thing. But I run a 6K 557, which is an AC Delco belt, a little bitty small belt, ain't much to it. The belt isn't terrible. Like, I've had it on there for, you know, a little while, but it started having a little squeak to it, and it was driving me crazy. So I got a new belt, got it swapped over. Got the oil draining, just got the plug put back in it, put the new filter in it, run a Wix XP filter on it. This thing is still carbureted. We're going to probably up the nitrous on it. I have 200 on it now, probably going to up it to a 300 on this deal here. And yeah, so let's get into it. Indexing spark plugs. Throw that belt over there because I don't need it no more. So indexing the spark plugs. What does that mean? Well, as far as I remember, a lot of times it will help keep all the fire in the directed area. So the fuel ignites with the fire, makes it go boom boom. And what we have here is you can take a black or red or anything like that. You have the open end of the spark plug. You'll trace it down right here. You'll make a line. You'll make a line right here. And what you want is the index of the plug itself. You actually want it to be facing towards the fire. I mean, towards the fuel. So all these are actually going to be facing towards the runners, which all the fuel is going to come down into the runner, ignite with the plug, boom, boom, boom. It does a lot of different stuff. Well, with the nitrous, I'm going to gap these plugs roughly around 32. I'm gonna do 32 thousandths on the plugs, and I also have a manifold. I also have a header leak that I'm going to address those two, and I've got to put gaskets in those and get them done. And trying to think of what else. Just kind of do a nut and bolt check over everything on the car, because I haven't run this car in a while. We ran it at sick week, and then we done a battle for the streets back in March. Here it is, September. So yeah, I've done a little bit of, you know, street cruising with it or whatever, but I haven't, you know, kind of went over and done a maintenance check on all of it. So therefore, that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to get to indexing these plugs. I do put anti-seize on these plugs. I anti-seize all the plugs, and just kind of so they ain't in there dry, and you'll have them. You can break a plug off in it. You can strip a plug off in these things. And being a nitrous car, you know, we're changing plugs like every few passes. You want to take the plugs out to check them to make sure, because let me grab a plug and I'll show you. This is whenever someone won't listen to you about needing to change the plug sometimes, because you never know when it gets really hot inside those chambers. So I'm not sure if you could see that plug there. See the electrode completely gone. All right, and then here's a maintenance plug. See how you can still see the timing mark on it right there at the corner of the electrode. See how that looks? That's a nearly perfect plug. This is what you do not want to see. But if you don't do a regular maintenance on it and pull the plugs and check them and make sure that they're doing like they're supposed to, this is what you end up having. I think you can see it pretty good in there. But yeah, you're probably checking out Stay Tuned in the background right there. Probably ain't even paying attention to me. Shout out to my buddy Tony. So yes, that's not what we want. And so I'm gonna get rolling on these plugs, and I'm gonna set y'all up on time lapse because I'm sure you don't want to hear me talk through all this. I don't know if I have enough to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and set y'all up on time lapse and go ahead and get rolling on this thing. So we're on our last plug. We'll gotta make sure that we index it. Like I say, all you do is just take your felt tip marker. It has to be the open end of the electrode and the strap. So mark it, and it needs to be facing up towards the runner, towards the fuel injector, towards the carburetor is the best thing. Cupcake, what? There ain't nothing in here. My cat's over here going crazy. Actually, my daughter's cat is going crazy over here. She'll come out here in the shop and look for pests. She's caught a few of them. So we get that in there. You run it all the way up. You put about 14 to 15 foot-pounds of torque on it. You kind of want to keep eye on where that line is at, so you make sure that you don't go over that. If you go over it, you can't. There ain't nothing really you can do. Yeah, there ain't nothing that you can really do. Once that crush sleeve is smashed, I mean, it's pretty much it. It's very rare that you can get it off, turn it a bunch of times, and that crush sleeve, you know, you'll have more in it. You can only go so far in there before you'll break the spark plug itself off, or either strip the actual threads out of the head, especially it being aluminum heads. That's one thing that you have to be careful about. A lot of times, like I say, a lot of times you can do this, and it may increase horsepower. Then again, on some stuff it may not help at all. I just like to do it because I run a pretty good bit of nitrous, and I'm actually upping it to another 100 RPMs on the car. I mean, another 100 RPMs, another 100. shot of nitrous, so therefore I have 300 on the car. And we're going to see how it acts. If it don't act right, I'm going to drop it back down to 200 and run it like I've been running it, because I've been running this car on 200 for a long time, and it runs good on 200. It runs really well on 200. So, like I say, next thing is we got to get some oil, put some oil on this baby, to make sure that we get that good and dialed in. Gotta get us a clean rag. Get that in there. Put this right there. Oh, make sure there ain't no trash in there. Put that in there. Gotta get the oil. Gotta always make sure that you put that that Corona extra oil in there. You don't never want to. And this is a lager. This right here is a dark beer. It's good stuff. Make sure you get all that in there. Get it all in there. Make sure it all runs out. Make sure you get that all in there. Then you put your other oil in it. So make sure you get that in there. And I got a catch can. I got a catch can on this car also that we will be. I always drain it. There ain't never really nothing in it. Sometimes there's a little bit of condensation up in it, but there's not too terrible. Not a lot. Drain all that in there. Gotta make sure we get all that in there. Valvoline Gold. Oh, good stuff. Just tip it on in. Tip it on in. Oh, just the tip. You just put the tip of the funnel in the hole right there. The last time I went out there to Silver Dollar and I ran this thing, we were on pretty much the same tune-up, 200 shot. We had just got the carburetor Drew built for us over there, Air, Fuel, and Spark. And we done pretty good. We got put out first round. They put us up against a 1972 Camaro with a big small block, with like 3 kits of nitrous. Way out of my class. Way out of my class, but hey, it is what it is. So we're gonna, this time we're gonna be running a different class. He's actually putting us in, I guess he has our time slips and everything from before, and Michael will be putting us in classes that we fit in. They're gonna have A class all the way to F, so A, B, C, D, E, F, and I believe we're gonna be in D class. Pretty much, I mean, I feel like depending on what this thing will do, you know, then therefore we'll know what we can run and what we can't run. But if we get put out, in first round or whatnot, we're still going to do test and tune, because they are going to be running a lot of test and tune between rounds as they can. So should be a pretty good event. Let's see what it looks like on the stick. This horsefly is about to tote me off here. I'm gonna get to whooping some tail right here in a minute. And guys, don't freak out. It wasn't Corona. It was oil treatment, Pro Lube. I add all that to my oil changes. This stuff right here works amazing. Not a lot. I mean, not just for as far as like the life of the oil lasts a lot longer. I feel like, and it's still oily. This horseflies, we finna fight. But it makes it last a lot longer also. And another thing is I could tell the difference whenever I drain the oil, when I do the oil changes and stuff on my stuff, that it's not broke down so much that it's hard to explain. Most oils, you know, still don't have the little separation, I guess, to it. And when I add this stuff in there, it does really well. Just know that it does really well, okay? I'm not getting paid from them or nothing else. I used it and I have great results, so I like the stuff. So we got the plugs done. Gotta throw these other plugs away, and we're going to move on to the next step. I started taking this header off. I've got this header off on this side because the header gasket is blowed completely out. So I'm trying to figure out how we can get that pushed off of there. Just use whatever you can find. I got a spoon right here. Everybody knows what a header gasket looks like. I had ordered these headers here a long time ago whenever I first put this car together, and it came with these header gaskets, and they've been a good one for a long time, about 2.5 years now. And well, the other part of the gasket has nearly exited the chat. See if I can dig most of it out right here. It's little bits and pieces here. I don't know if I'll be able to get them out or not. Wow. These little pieces are very hard to get out, and it's kind of just like little bitty disintegrated pieces. But I have to get those out so I can slide the new gasket in. I got a set of BTR multi-layered gaskets, and I shouldn't have any problems with them. There's one piece, and I got one more piece right here. I gotta get dug out. Here we go. I think this is it. Well, that hit the ground, and that one hit the ground. So I'm gonna run a piece of Scotch-Brite down inside the cylinders, because you cannot get these headers off. They fit so tight, it's enough to literally slide a gasket in from the front. slide it in from the front to the back, it's kind of difficult. But this side over here, blowed out on this gasket here. The driver's side is still fine, and I'm not going to take that driver's side off until it blows. But I'm going to take and replace this side right here. I'm going to take some Scotch-Brite and go in between there just to kind of knock off a little bit of the stuff here. But yeah, something kind of went together like that somewhat. You know, a header gasket looks just like that. You put it on. If a header gasket looks like that, we got problems. But anyways, yeah, this thing lasted for a good while. It's like a graphite header gasket or something like that, I guess. And like I say, it lasted a pretty good while. And so there's that. And we're going to got some. All right, I'll check back with y'all here in just a minute. Gotta find them. All right, guys, I found it, thankfully. So we're gonna get this thing put on. Took me a little bit to locate that thing, and I went ahead and put some Scotch-Brite all through the pieces here. So we'll go ahead and stick this gasket in there. Hey. Oh yeah, definitely don't wanna. Come on now. Just trying to be difficult here. Difficult gasket. Got to take my own information and actually use it, because I said that I had to slide it through the front, and here I am trying to slide it through the back, and I'm still not going to be able to do that. We're going to have to take the bolt that holds the dipstick on. We're going to take it off because it's in the way. Always something so simple be in the way. And it would be a different size than everything else. I should know, I put it on. Get that taken off, then we'll be able to slide our gasket from the top. I don't know why I should have just done that to begin with. It'd be very simple just to do that. Pull the header back some, slide that in there. See if we can get that bolted back up without us giving any problems. And it looks like it's probably going to give us some problems. And drop bolts. It's going to be a booger to get in there. Gotta persuade it some. Do a little bit of persuading. Before I go too far, I'm gonna make sure I can get the majority of the bolts in there, because if I can't get those in there, then alrighty now. Got to get something that I can stick up in the hole to align the gasket in the hole for some reason. Acts like it don't wanna go down in there. Oh man. Come on now. Y'all can't see it, but I think what was happening was I was sitting there fighting that because I'm on my tippy toes over here, and I have done misplaced a bolt. Done dropped it somewhere, I assume. I know exactly where it's at. I dropped it in the pan that I was draining the oil in. Well, guess I did not. So where did it go? So it might have hit that pan and shot to who knows where. So I tell you guys that if that was a snake, it would have bit me. I must have grabbed it and stuck one up there, looking everywhere for it. Could not find it. I mean, and literally it was laying right there. I'm gonna get this bolted up, get all the plugs hooked back up, and we're gonna crank this thing up. So I'm gonna get after it. Get these last couple bolts snugged up on this header, and we can take and put the spark plug wires back on. Crank this dude up and check oil pressure, check make sure it just all the plugs is hitting, because I rode around with just driving around on the street or whatever. I run 87 pump gas every now and then, and it'll foul the plugs out because I run a colder plug in it, I guess, and I don't really normally change them out to do street driving. I just run those plugs because I buy a bunch of them to have, and that's back on. Get all this over here. Put tools up. You put tools up, you always know where they're at. No matter where they are. As long as you put them back in the spot, you'll always have tools to work with. If you don't put them back in the spot, you'll end up losing a ton of tools. Over the years, I've lost more tools than I know what to do with. So let's get these plug wires on over here. Get them plugged back up. See what shoes you do. Move this out of the way. Shoot a little gas to her. vitals and everything else. Let me switch this thing off. Y'all probably can't even understand what I'm saying. All the vitals and everything seem to be pretty good to go. Like I say, we're gonna finish kind of just doing our over check on it. I've already greased all the front end, greased the anti-roll bar. Got to check the fluid in the rear end. I do have to do that, but I can check everything else off my list. Got that pretty much knocked out, and I'm thinking that's pretty much squared away there. So we're gonna pretty much call it on this one. The next video y'all will be seeing, I will be up in North Georgia or Central Georgia, racing that battle of the streets. So I appreciate y'all watching. Thank y'all for checking in. Y'all come back, like and subscribe. Appreciate it.